Vivian with actor, writer, producer, HBO. She's featured in HBO's The Parenting and Netflix Always Be My Baby with Keanu Reeves. Let's bring her out, Vivian Bang.
Yay!
So excited for this
It's
episode.
actually Always Be My Maybe, but I'll take
Always
baby.
Be My Baby.
We'll take babies, you know?
Cheers.
Love a
Cheers.
baby. Oh.
Always be my maybe. That's going to be a question. We'll get to that. Vivian, so excited to have you right off the red carpet. If you don't already know Vivian Bang, you're about to, because she is featured all over the place. She's an artist. She's a creative. She's now an ATLian, if we can call her that, right?
ATL, yes. I used to call it Hotlanta, and then somebody was like, "You're not from here, are you?" Because I thought it was so cool. Like, who doesn't want to be part of Hotlanta? But I think ATL was like, yeah, no, we don't go by that.
I would always say Atlanta, and I still say Atlanta. So they're like, "You're not from here, are you?" It's the giveaways. Okay, so Vivian's joining me on the wheel, third with Molly. Tell them your clay experience.
I have zero experience. All my cool LA girlfriends were taking ceramics in LA, and I was just like, well, if everyone hip is doing it, I'm not joining that.
Oh, so that was the resist, because it was so cool and trendy.
It's so cool. And so now I'm in the ATL, and I'm like, I meet Molly. I'm like, I can't not do it. Sure, I'll throw.
This is going to be so fun tonight. We're going to throw. This is just about having fun. We probably won't make your masterpiece piece tonight, but we're going to have fun, and we're going to talk about some tips and tricks for throwing, but then we're going to get into talking about you and your creative journey.
Well, I'm just going to mirror you.
Okay, yeah. So scoot up close to your wheel.
I see that there's like water here.
We've got water,
clay balls,
and we're using these bats that we're going to put the clay on the bat. And first, with everything dry, you want to make sure that your clay is pressed down. So I'm kind of like using my palms and just like pressing it down into the bat. That just makes sure it doesn't go flying off immediately.
Okay.
Because it could. It wouldn't be the first, and it wouldn't be the last time. Okay. How's the clay feeling so far?
Dumplings or something. I know how to make dumplings.
Are you a chef? Are you a cook?
I'm not, but I have made plenty of like dumplings with my mom, and so like I just feel like it's very like flour, like a big thing of it feels good.
Very tactile. All right, now our first step for whatever we want to throw, we have to center the clay.
Okay.
So we're going to center it, and then we'll talk about whatever it is that you want to make out of the clay. Okay. So centering, we can load this. Are you a righty or a lefty?
Righty.
Awesome. Okay, so the water. This is where the water comes in. Take one of your sponges, load it up with water. And then as it spins slow, we can just kind of add some water, because now the water makes it slippery. So load up some water on it.
Oh my God.
I hope your LA friends are tuning in for this.
I know. They're just
more
gonna
water. There we go.
They're just going to be like, Vivian, why didn't you just take a little?
We're going to have our centering tonight, though, friends. Okay, now I always like to say that when you're centering, your left arm is your boss hand. That means that your elbow is in your hip socket. And then you've got to be scooted up. The inventor of this wheel said he designed it like a horse saddle. So you get up onto the horse saddle. And we're tight here. We're close. Scoot on up. And then that left elbow's in your hip, so that when you lean forward, your left palm, this part of the palm, is going to press from your forearm into that clay while this elbow is connected to your body. Yes, that's what's going to give you that centering, groundedness. And then you're going to press, with that left hand. And then the right hand comes on top like a karate chop. And then they always work together. So these hands are always connected together. Looks like this. So they're connected. The left hand's the boss, the right hand's pressing down, and they press that clay, and you hold it and press until it rotates, until all of the wobbles are gone, because you've pressed it to center. So anything you throw on the wheel, you just have to get it centered. Kind of like life, if you're gonna have a good day, you need to just be centered.
Yeah, like get grounded.
So, yes,
get grounded.
Get grounded. Ground yourself into this clay. And mine's a little bit stiff, so I'm kind of taking a second here, and I'm going to help you. Okay, how's it feeling?
I mean,
this one's here, and this one's here. We're going to press here, and now go faster. Yep, and we're the boss. And then once this hand is steady, then this hand can squeeze more water. Let's get some more water, And then these right here, stay connected right there. So this one's pressing here, and it's firm. It's not allowed to go bump. It's just firm. And then you go spin your wheel fast. Yep, speed and water. And then they just stay connected. And then like you just hold it right there. And then when that little wobble's gone, maybe a little more water, a little more, right? Like you're centered. Show that to the LA girlies in their pottery classes.
I'm doing it.
And then right there, and then we say we hold it and let it rotate, and then slow release. Guys, Vivian Bang, her first time on the wheel. She's centered.
Her wall, yeah.
So we kind of just jumped right in, but go ahead, introduce yourself. If there's somebody seeing you for the first time, how would you introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm kind of, I guess I'd call myself a clown. I've always been kind of a clown. Yeah, I got into acting. Actually, I was like super shy. Nobody believes this, but when I was in high school, I barely talked. That's how quiet I was. And but behind that, like there was me all along. Anyway, my drama teacher kind of, I don't know like what she saw, but she saw like a very like a performer in me. And she encouraged me, and I went to New York and I studied at NYU, and somehow I got a full scholarship to study drama and film. And yeah, and then from there, like I guess you could call me a performer, but I've been writing and directing and producing indie features now. And so that's kind of what I'm like this next chapter, that I've been doing in Atlanta. But yeah, prior to that, I was doing a bunch of like crazy New York downtown theater. I was in a performance art group. Then I went to LA, and I really wanted to be on a sitcom. So I was on a sitcom, a TBS Warner Brothers sitcom called Sullivan and Son for 3 seasons. And then I did even like a crazier show called Swedish Dicks with Keanu Reeves and Peter Stormare. I don't know if you guys know him from Fargo, but he's like an amazing actor from Sweden. And so it was a cross production, and I played a private detective.
Stop it. But wait, you worked with, okay, wait, let's talk about tonight. On the wheel, we usually make a plate, a bowl, or like a cylinder form.
Ooh.
What's on your heart
I want
tonight?
to make a bowl.
Okay, a bowl. So once
Why
it's
not?
centered and that kind of wobbles out, for a bowl, watch this. We have to take our right hand, the left hand's still there holding it still. The right hand still adds that water as we need. But then these right fingertips can kind of find the middle of the clay and start to press down as it spins, and hands always stay connected. And you patiently press open to make the inside of the bowl. So we'll kind of do that for a little bit while you get back to, okay, so Keanu Reeves then and now, you've multiple times worked with Keanu Reeves?
We did like, a few seasons, I think 2 seasons, and he played this, it was a Swedish cross production, so it was really crazy. We call it like a cross between Monty Python, like a really weird sketch show, but also with elements of Twin Peaks. So it's like a really funny weirdo show. And yeah, he played like text, and so yeah, we had done comedy together a little bit, and then I got cast in Always Be My Maybe, and he was just amazing in that, and I got to kind of fawn over him in that Netflix rom-com.
So
good. Yeah,
it's amazing.
It's really fun.
So would that be a highlight of your? I mean, you've done so much, and we haven't even gotten into it, but I feel like Keanu Reeves is pretty peak.
That
achievement.
was just so fun. Yeah, I mean, it was just like I was also working with my friends. I know this is doing this like funny. Is that? Obviously, I can't multitask.
You're doing great. As somebody who's never done pottery, you're still centered.
Right.
And that just happened because go back to exactly what you're doing. Let me see, because I was listening, thinking, okay, that's why. So see how your little fingers are there? So the clay's going there. So there's no pressure right there and right there. So the clay's coming up. So you could just kind of either squeeze your fingers together. Sometimes I'll do this and put the sponge over the fingers. And what you want to do too is see that little peak right there? That's where you want to go down first. Gotcha. So spin, spin, spin. And just don't even go out yet. Just stay in that middle and just press down right in the middle. All we do first is make the inside hole, and then we'll make the bottom.
Wow.
Is it satisfying? What do you think of the feel of clay? Vivian Bang, never done clay. She's done the red carpet. She's worked with Keanu Reeves, but here we go.
Definitely feels like you have to be centered, like you said. Like I'm sort of like pressing down and holding space for this. Yeah, it's either.
And if you stay connected, it helps you work together.
Okay.
And you just, at this point, you're going down, right in that center, down, and you're just going to leave yourself like just enough so you don't have a planter, which it's okay. If you go all the way through, you'll have a little hole.
Mhm.
So you're just kind of pressing down to be like, how much clay is left in the bottom? And then once
Oh,
you think
wow.
it's just deep enough, then we'll make the interior bottom.
Why do I have all these like left,
That's just some clay slip, and everything in clay gets recycled, so it's just
Okay.
nothing loose. But I mean, really, look, you are staying centered. The wobbles aren't there because this hand's firm.
All right.
They're connected, and you're just holding it, letting it rotate.
Okay.
And then now, these fingers, now that you're low enough, they can kind of pull towards you. And as they pull towards you, it's like, well, how wide do we want this bowl to be? And then you open it however
Oh,
wide
wow.
you, right?
That's kind of really cool. That feels really delicious.
Oh, yes! This is my favorite part.
Smooth.
This is my favorite part of clay. I feel like who doesn't love clay? Everybody. And like, see that little piece right there?
So
you can
press
take
on
the
that.
sponge
Mhm.
and I kind of put my elbows against my body and fingers over the sponge and let that sponge find the center and rotate a few times, and they can kind of smooth that bottom. Okay, so we're loving clay. Maybe you'll be a potter now and forget the acting world, or
Maybe, yeah. I mean, let's see how this goes.
this pot goes. Okay. Would you say what's harder, centering clay or memorizing lines?
Oh. Well, this is so new, I mean, I think like memorizing lines, I mean, it's a funny thing. Like people, that's like for non-actors, that's the first question they ask.
Is it?
It is. They're like, wow, especially if they go see theater or plays, they're like, oh my God, they just memorized all those lines.
Yeah.
And like that's what they're impressed with most. But
yes.
it's just stories. And so just like when your girlfriends or your close friends like tell you stories and you don't forget those stories, and you remember the details of such that sort of stick to you. That's what sort of acting is sometimes. It's like you figure out like what you're doing, and it's like you have a reason for doing it. And so it's kind of like, yeah, I don't know. I think
you really
like
put in that
memorizing
work. You don't just show up. You like read it, you know it's their ins and outs.
Yeah, I feel like with stories, like you just like kind of like stick to, like you find what the story is and like what resonates with you, and then that's what kind of helps you remember like those lines or reasons for saying. Yeah, it's kind of like magical, but I think it's for me. I've been doing it for so long, so like this is a lot harder.
Like literally, she's
I'm like literally just like hold on to your ground.
You're doing great. Okay, so now let's do a pull.
Okay.
So give me a little spin. I'm just going to open this just a little more. Give me a little spin. Yeah. And I'm just going to open this bottom just a little bit, because if we're doing a bowl, if it's too narrow, it might, not have as sturdy as a bottom. Okay, so first we open, then we make our bottom. Now we slow the wheel. And remember how we talked about the left hand's the boss? Now the right hand's the boss.
Okay.
Okay, so pulling.
I love it.
Right?
Each hand.
Balance of power.
Right.
Each hand has a chance to be the boss. So now the right hand's the boss. That means we're anchored.
Okay.
Okay, it looks like this. It's fingertip to fingertip. The right hand's at 3 o'clock on the outside at the bottom getting this clay. The inside hand is connected always, like a little butterfly. And they're going to be squeezing the clay. So I like to put a sponge over my right hand and watch. This is what it looks like. My right hand's anchored. Speed is like medium. My hand is connected. And this inside hand is going to squeeze back. Let the clay rotate. And as I squeeze, then my hands can come up, let it rotate, then come up, let it rotate. And you're squeezing the thickness, which shoots the clay up. And then you just kind of make it to the top and rotate, 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 slow release.
That's really
and then you do it again.
Molly.
And then you do it again. So you take your time. You're over here at 3 o'clock. Okay. Spin like a medium. This one's the boss. And then, keep the wheel going at patient speed, not too fast. And then they squeeze and rotate, and then they come up, and they squeeze, and they rotate, and then they come up. And then you're just patient. You get all the way to the top, and then just hold it, and just rotate, 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 and then slow release.
Oh, wow.
So you kind of just made a ball right there.
My ball.
You just made a ball.
It does look like,
and at this point, you could, over-loving is a real thing, where you can over-love. But I see, I'm trying to read this. Are you I can't read it from here. I'm going to read them in a second because we're going to mark where y'all are tuning in from. But watch this. So if you let this inside hand press out more. So see this like flared out clay, I can kind of squeeze that. But if I want, I can bring this inside hand and let it push out and it opens it. But here, speed kills. So if you go too fast, it can kind of just knock it off track. So just be patient, hold it gently, rotate. And then a bowl happens fast. So we're going to take this off and do another one. And we'll talk more. So once it's kind of done and smooth, you made a bowl.
Is there like a wrong way to do a bowl? I mean, I guess
the wrong way to do a bowl is if you put a hole in the bottom and
so
you want it to put soup in it, and
as long as there's no holes.
Yeah.
It's wobbly's okay.
Wobbly's okay. And in fact, I'm going to take this one off. I'm going to help you kind of finish yours, and we're going to restart another one.
Okay.
And yeah, how therapeutic, right?
Yeah, kind of.
And now you're getting to the point of like, pretty stressful. But watch this. You're going to take your hands off slow, spin slowly, but don't touch it anymore. Because we see that water. I'm just going to soak that up and go slow. I'm going to wring that out, soak that up.
Oh, I see.
Because if we leave water, it will disintegrate it into slip and you'll have a crack. Keep spinning. Because look how satisfying that is. You clean this back. And then I'm just going to hold it gently. You spin it slow. And we'll just do one rotate, and I think that this one's done.
Oh, cool.
And then we do another.
I kind of love it.
I love it.
We're
going to do this.
I don't have a bowl like this.
Vivian's first wheel thrown bowl. You see it here first. Do we love clay?
I love it. It's so malleable.
And then we just put a new one on. You use that towel to dry your hands. Because anytime you start, you want to start with everything dry, or else it could just fly off. So dry hands.
Oh my gosh, I feel like such a painter, a creator.
Such an artist. Which tell us about your upcoming project that you're working on.
Oh yes. Oh, I'm so excited. I just created my first episode, a pilot of a series conceived by me about a support group for artists in Atlanta. So it's really hard and isolating to be an artist. And so this episode it's a series just kind of looking at all the sort of aspects of creative life, whether it's like perfectionism or meeting deadlines. And each episode is kind of a standalone. It's a dark comedy. It's like a standalone about different artists in the group. And the first episode is kind of like the art group is told by a doc filmmaker played by me. And
she acts, she writes, she produces, she does it all.
So it's a half hour, like funny sitcom. And Atlanta plays a real character in the series. And yeah, I think it's really beautiful. I just submitted to Sundance, so please, fingers crossed, and send good vibes. I hope we get in, and I want to be able to make 5 more.
Yes.
So that's kind of been my jam, and it's been independently produced and made by Atlanta local artists. It features, real Atlanta artists like William Downs, and shout out to William.
Which that's something else I wanted to talk to you about, was being a transplant from LA, being in a new city as a creative, but you've really made a name for yourself. Once it's stuck on there, we'll add water. And this is where that left hand is the boss. You're going to take this thumb up here and press with this part from here, elbow in your hip. This one's karate chopping on top, and they stay connected right here. Yep. So this one's on top. This one's pressing here. And then speed is your friend and water.
Okay.
Look at that.
Oh my God.
And you're just patient, trying to push those wobbles to the center of the wheel. The left hand.
Patience is my least, the strongest quality. I feel like that's what life is doing. It's constantly trying to teach me patience. And I'm like, okay, this too, ceramics too, takes patience.
Everything. Right. Say it louder, because it is. People join a class, an 8-week class. We do 8-week classes, and they're like, whoa, it's a lot harder than I thought.
Yeah, ceramics takes patience, guys. Just, FYI.
Patience and practice. Patience and practice.
Yeah, coming to Atlanta as a transplant, it's really good to come to a smaller city, after having been in New York and LA. And LA is especially LA for me, being in the film industry and entertainment industry, so much of life is kind of driven by ambition and career, that a lot of times personal life sort of takes a second backseat. And coming to Atlanta like right after COVID, and I came for personal reasons, like to be with my family. I think it's a really like punk rock sensibility here in Atlanta, where everyone sort of they do work really hard, but they also have a really beautiful sense of like work-life balance, and they know what really matters. I mean, I feel like also like in the South, like people get married earlier, you know, they create kids where like in LA, they're like, yeah, we're gonna have kids at like 40, 44, maybe, you know, like maybe at 50, I'll be ready. But it's like really funny to come to Atlanta and it's like everyone has kids by like, you know, whatever age. And, just their priorities are funny. And when I first came, no one knew who I was, you know, and like I didn't know a lot of people as an adult. And so I found this place called Banshee, which is like a restaurant that I really love in EAV, which is East Atlanta Village. And after hours on weekends, like Fridays and Saturdays, they close the restaurant and they dance. And that's what I love to do. I just love dancing, like by myself. We haven't
been on a dance floor together.
I don't know.
I love
Molly,
a dance
you're
floor.
Gonna have to join us at Banshee. And so through dancing is where I met all my friends, like all my close friends now that I have. Like they didn't even know what I did for a living. We just danced on the dance floor, and they're like, "Who is this weirdo?" And I became friends with all of them, and I like, you know, I make them, you know, help me with my like weirdo like community theater projects if I want to throw on a play. And, you know, it's just been really fun to meet like. And that's actually been a dream of mine. I want to start a community theater where, you know, you don't necessarily have to know anything about theater you know, but we have plenty of like artists who can build sets or make costumes or, you know, run schedules. And yeah, it's just been really fun to create punk rock performances and pizza parlors and pizza joints around town and just do fun like performances that like, you know, gather people, and it's just brought this sort of sense of fun into the whole acting for me, as opposed to coming from like, you know, a workplace where it's like so much of my career. It's made me like really have fun again and just kind of put on shows just for the fun of it and not worry about commercial success or anything like that. So yeah, Atlanta's been like really healing. And God, I'm jumping all around.
No, I love all of that because so many people, I think, one, it's scary to just pick up and move to a new city. I also just moved to Atlanta, you know, not too long ago. Didn't know anybody. We met randomly at another friend. Yeah.
We met at the bakery.
At the bakery. Shout out to Willow. Yeah. And she connected us and was like, hey, you two are both artsy. Y'all might like each other. But I love your tip of kind of like, yeah, sure, find the dance floor, but mainly find what you love to do, what makes you happy, show up.
Ceramics.
Like ceramics, take a pottery class, we have them. But to your point, like meeting people on the dance floor is freaking magical because who's not having fun on the dance floor? And so then therefore, if you're meeting other fun people on the dance floor.
Yeah, and sometimes I think like, you know, rhetoric and words, people just don't seem to really communicate much, you know, with these.
Yeah.
On the dance floor, you know what's up.
You don't need words. You just
don't need words. You just
the body tells it.
And it's just like no one looks good doing it, you know? I mean,
I don't know. It's like who's a bad I don't know. I think like can you be a bad dancer? Like can there be bad pizza?
No one can be bad.
Can there be bad wine?
You just move with the music. Yeah. And that's the thing also about Atlanta. Like amazing DJs. When I first arrived, everyone I met was like a DJ, and they're like, "Do you want a DJ? We can teach you." I'm like, "No," but
I feel like you'd be a great DJ because you love dancing and you're so fun.
Well, thanks.
And now you have all these DJ friends.
Yeah,
so.
I have all the DJ friends, so I'll just dance to their, you know, playings. But I think because ATL has so much soul and it's just really fun. There's music and dancing everywhere. You kind of like. It's a very DIY friendly, you know.
And I saw you were just on a panel talk tell them about that. Like Atlanta also has like huge art scene because you were just a panel speaker.
Yes, we now have the Atlanta Art Fair, which Atlanta didn't have an art fair. A city of this size, I'm embarrassed to say, we did not have an official art fair. But this is the second one held at Pullman Yards, and it was over the weekend. And they had galleries from all over the world participating, but a lot of local galleries, you know, all like participated, like White Space and the End Project, Temporary Spaces, Johnson and Lowe, Jackson Fine Arts. These are all great galleries showcasing some really great local artists who are, huge names also outside of ATL. So it was really fun to go. And during the panel, during the art fair, they hosted a panel. It was a terrible title. It was called Hollywood in Atlanta. And everyone's like, no, we're not Hollywood in Atlanta. That's a terrible title. Like, Atlanta does its own thing. We're making films and doing our own thing. But they hosted a panel and invited the the director or the partner at UTA, Steve Cohen, who brought UTA to Atlanta. So there's like a UTA in Atlanta division, and Chris Escobar, who is part of the Atlanta Film Festival, as well as he owns the Plaza Theater, Local Favorites, and the Terra Theater. And then,
but how did you get connected? You're new in this town, and then you're just ingrained in it all of a sudden. Like, what's your tip and trick for people going to a new town?
I was the only female speaking in the panel, so come on, girls.
Yeah,
you need to be out there representing. And then also, I was like the one who was probably like the indie filmmaker, with like no budget. They were talking about tax incentives and budgets like. It was just obscene. Like, so I kind of was speaking for, I guess, the artist part of the panel, like representing just sort of the local artists making films and kind of our perspective of how we saw what's happening and what we'd like and like where we need support and things like that. So that was really fun. And it was really cool for the art fair to include film and media as part of the conversation, because like films are not always seen as art, but it is.
I don't know. In high school, our film department was separate, and they did it through the library and technology. And then they asked if they could join our art show. It's like, yes. It doesn't make sense to me that film and TV is different than art, but I guess different mediums.
I feel like just when you're trying to sell things, you kind of have to like define and name things a certain way. Just like real estate, you're like naming neighborhoods so you can sell it. Like you have to define an area so you can sell. So I feel like with art, like they're always like trying to box in things that you can't always box in just so they can sell it, But I think media and film, especially like experimental films, have like always been part of the trajectory of art.
Well, we are at the end of our Throne with Molly.
I
know. Listen, I'm gonna end with a couple quick fire. Here we go. Right? Left hand's the buzz. Right hand's untied.
Okay.
Okay. I did too much left hand there. Okay, here.
Maybe I don't make a very good student.
No, we got this. Here, let me put my hands on it for a second, and then just spin it fast. Spin it fast. I'm just pressing down, make sure it's stuck. Okay, now.
Go, Molly.
Now left hand, right hand karate chops. They're together. We just have to get that little wobble out. Go fast with the speed of the wheel.
Okay.
And we're here. Look at that connection.
Okay. It's all about the connection.
It's the connection, the water, the speed.
And trust and patience. And all these big universal words.
And while we're all talking, you're learning a new skill and telling me your life story. Okay, now from here, while I ask you these final quick round questions, you can take this hand and make that inside opening of that bowl.
Okay.
So these fingers can find the center, stay connected, be patient, remember.
Yes,
patience. Press down. Okay, final round questions. Well, we didn't get a chance to do, where are you tuning in from? If anybody's tuning in, sorry we missed you. I think I saw California earlier. I think I saw Florida earlier.
Oh, my California peeps. Hello.
Shout out. What part of California?
Ceramics.
She's done it.
Anymore.
She made this one. Okay, here we go. Quick round. Dream project you'd love to create.
Well, I'm doing it. Oldest Child. It's my new series. I want to make 5 more. So that's my dream project, is a series about a support group for artists. It's a comedy.
Who's your dream collaborator?
Well, I did already work with Keanu Reeves, so I can't, I don't know if you can top that, but I did just see, oh my gosh, one battle after another with Sean Penn and Leo and Benicio del Toro. So it's like,
put it out there.
Could I be in that? Could I work with those guys?
Put it out there. Okay, what's one wild risk that you would want to take?
A wild risk?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. I feel like just being in the creative industry every day of my life is a wild risk. But I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe I can still be a little more adventurous. Yeah.
What's your biggest creative passion outside of acting?
I think arts, visual arts, like contemporary visual arts. I've always been a groupie my whole life. I think they have better crayons than I do. So, yeah, I'm kind of a groupie.
Let's see, where do you feel most in flow? Stage, film, or life?
I love the stage because just as an actor, that's kind of you get your total freedom, control, the most control, I guess. But I love film and that it's such a collaborative art. So different mediums like definitely challenge different aspects of my creativity. But yeah, the theater stage.
And what inspires you if you hit a creative block?
Just consistency and showing up, even if you don't feel inspired, just to have a plan of just to keep consistent or to keep at it. Like if you just keep going, even if you feel like, you're not doing much, it's like, yeah, you're making progress. That's sometimes when I write, I feel like that, like I feel like I'm writing really badly or I don't feel inspired to write, but I'll show up at the computer and then all of a sudden it's like it's writing itself. And I'm like, wow. And then also, reject that. Just go for a walk or something. And that's also good too. You don't always have to stick to any rules. That's my rule.
And that's the beauty of, I've had such a pleasure of getting to know you, Vivian, running into that serendipitous day a couple years ago now. No, you're a fabulous student. You've never thrown, and I'm not even really helping you, and you're staying centered and you're opening and you're talking. And thank you for sharing all your creativity, your wisdom. As we leave everybody tonight, any parting words? Where can we find you? Where can we support you?
I haven't been really we just talked. Molly's been teaching me. I haven't been really active in social media, but I do have an Insta account called and my handle is I am Bang, like I am Bang. I post mostly there, but I rarely do. But I'm going to use it more. I think definitely, especially when I'm trying to market my series, Oldest Child.
Oldest Child.
You'll get sick of seeing me.
No, we won't, because Vivian's hilarious. If you haven't seen the parenting and the Keanu Reeves one, you say it so I don't say it incorrectly again.
Always be my maybe. Oh yeah, the parenting. We didn't even talk about that.
We didn't even talk about the parenting.
My idols, Lisa Kudrow and Parker Posey. Like what? Edie Falco. These are women
that are badasses. Yeah, and you did that, and we didn't even talk about that.
We didn't even talk about it. So
we need like 2 more minutes. Wait, give us like some scoop. Were they as funny in like real life as they are?
They are like beautiful women, so talented, hilarious, but they're like people first. And we spent like 3 months in a house together, like cooking dinners. And oh my God, I just have to say, I want them to adopt me, like all of them. Like, and Parker Posey, like, yeah, I just want her to be my best friend.
Are you not fun. 3 months together? It's like you're technically besties.
Yeah, sure. I can
in my world, you cooked dinners for months. That's
okay,
level. That's amazing. Yeah, Vivian is a special gem. She's so talented. She's hilarious. She's so creative, thoughtful, and such a community connector. So if you're in Atlanta, definitely make sure you catch one of the things that Vivian's working on. If you're not in Atlanta, catch her on the big screen and the small screen. And
yeah. Oh, I do want to plug that I did start a collective called Performance Jam for anyone who's interested in any type of performative element, like whether you're an actor or writer or singer, dancer. We meet at the Plaza Theater at an old movie theater. We meet on Saturdays. It's called Performance Jam. Yeah.
What time?
It's Saturday mornings from 11 to 2. So. But just come in. I mean, it's free. You can come and go as you please. It's just a place to celebrate process and to create community and creativity. I think right now more than ever, we need to gather, guys. And
community, creativity, and fun. That's our motto here. All right, well, cheers. Thank you, Vivian. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for sharing your work. And look at her work, guys. You'll see more of her later. Thanks for tuning in. See y'all next week live.
Bye. Oh
See
my
y'all.
God, Molly.
But did you love it?
This is awesome. I went crazy. What?
I love it too. I told you that would be a mess when we
I
were
can't
done.
talk or
You did it. You made this one.
Thank you so much.
And sometimes we go through a lot of them because they're just going, and sometimes we don't go through, any of them. Kevin, that one, you want to